tend to converse, because extroverts tend to converse with everybody, and if there is nobody, they will converse themselves. And I always find people, just now I saw a person, he was talking on the cell phone, and with so much of smile, that if you do not know that he has a cell phone and talks like that, you will think that he is a mental patient. And I am telling you, many people become mental because of the cell phone. I am telling you a very small thing. I will tell your professor also. Just to take the cell phone of any student in your university and keep it for 2 days with you, he will become mental. And you read the messages that he gets, you will become mental. I can give it to you in writing. All kinds of stupid messages. Did you have breakfast? Yes. What was the breakfast? Idli. How many? 4. Chutney or sambar? Podi. All stupid things. Or I don't know why. You can straight away ask, what did you have as breakfast? Then you can send these 4 idlis with chutney, sambar, podi, idli. Yeah, take it. Take anything that you want. Leave me. So, that Sardarji was asked, I will come to the place where I left. So he was that robust, well-meaning Sardarji. So after some time he asked him, how big is your family? He said, my home, मेरी बीवी हूँ और 3 बच्चों हैं. बच्चों क्या कर रहे हैं? One is working in Delhi as a professor. Another one is working as a doctor in UP. Another one is working as engineer in Madras. Yes, when you are having 3 sons in good positions, why do you work as a taxi driver? He says, every year I have to send money to them because they are not able to meet their expenditure with their salary. If you are like that, then what is the point? So one should be self-reliant, whether it will be able to provide a decent living. That is another important point. The 4th important thing is whether this job is going to be a job in which you will not be attracted under the provisions of the law. You should not do some illegal job just because you get money. It may be thrilling. Some people always get thrilled when they work in illegal things. These are all the 4 aspects that are to be looked before you select the job. Now come to the interview. When you face the interview, there are various types of interviews. The first thing is informational interview. There are a few jobs. Some companies, they will be satisfied with the resume because you will send. See, nowadays you should know how to send a resume. There is a format. It should be a very attractive way of sending the resume. Kindly read in the net the resume sent by Leonardo da Vinci to the King of Italy and France. Such a beautiful resume he has written. How to market yourself. Ultimately, when you write a resume, you are selling yourself. It should be attractive, short and sweet. You should not write, I studied LKG in such and such place, then UKG in such and such place. I got gold medal in 1st standard, then I got silver medal in 3 subjects in the 2nd standard. All kinds of nonsense people write, and it will be like a book. One fellow was bringing his resume in a car. So many papers. Then he told me, sir, because of paucity of time, I could not hire a truck, otherwise I will bring a truck also. All photographs, all stupid things, all certificates. Certificates are not at all useful. What is the point in getting a certificate? Yes, at one point of time it was very helpful because in summer, when there is no fan, you can use the certificates to fan yourself. That is the only purpose. So my point is very simple, that when you write a resume, it should be captive. So when they conduct an informational interview, some companies, they will not ask you to come for the interview, first they will do some kind of screening. And again, when your resume is so attractive, when you have so many degrees, you would write that BBSc, university rank holder. Then you will write that I got first in dairy science. Then poultry science, I got first. And I produced maximum number of poultry in the test that was given to me. Then you can, then you write that I have done specialization in sheep. Then you write these are all the projects I have done on sheep. Then you write about your MESc. Then you write about specialization. Pathology is my specialization. All those kinds of things you write. Now they are highly impressed. Now they want to know whether this person actually exists or not. Because some people, they write all kinds of things without any credentials. Sometimes what happens is you have to send some credentials, 2 or 3 important people. So in an informational interview, they will test the candidate to know the authenticity of the information that was provided, and again they would ask the people who were given as credentials, do you know him? How is his reputation? Then they will ascertain that yes, this person could be shortlisted for the second set of interview. This is called informational interview. Then there are second type of interview is that is telephonic interview. It's a cost-effective mechanism. They just phone and they ask a few questions. And they would like to know about your aptitude, communication skills. For example, if you are going to be appointed in the call center, a telephonic conversation is enough because they would like to know how you handle a telephone, isn't it? How you handle a phone call is going to be tested, for which they need not have to call you. Just over the phone, they will ask some question, your pronunciation. You should speak in such a way that nobody understands. That is important for being in the call center, isn't it? They will also talk in such a way that they will not be understood by others. You have to understand it. So understand it and answer it in such a way that they don't understand it. That is the key for all these telephonic interviews. So they will ask some questions and you have to answer it. This is another form. The third important thing is, it is the personal interview. Most of us, as I told you in the beginning, when you pronounce the term interview, generally it means one candidate sitting like a sheep in front of the people who are about to castrate him. And he will be shivering and he will be sitting in such an uncomfortable way. And that is the image generally we have. So personal interview means a boy sitting in front of a group of people. And they will be first inquiring about his education, educational background, the university where he studied, then his family background, then his interest, his hobby. Then they will come to the subject, ask a few questions based on knowledge. Then they will see whether he has got the passion for teaching, aptitude for teaching. Some people may be well qualified. Some people may be highly qualified. But you can always see that they don't have the passion for teaching. If you have the passion for teaching, then you will love the students. Rarely you come across people who have the passion for teaching. Not all teachers are good teachers. Rarely you find a good teacher. Rarely you find a good professor. That is why it is said that a teacher teaches. A good teacher demonstrates. A great teacher lives. So his life is an example. So they will see whether you are fit for that profession. For example, a person may obtain any number of marks. He may have 4 out of 4 grade point average. Just theoretical knowledge. So he goes and sits there. In our days they used to say that one boy, immediately after finishing agriculture, he went to the field. Now, full of theoretical knowledge, borrowed knowledge, his mind is full of borrowed stuff, not original stuff. He is born and brought up in city. After joining the agriculture university, only he knew what is cholam, what is kambu, what is bajra, what is rice. Before that, he has seen rice only in supermarkets. I was told that a boy from America, he came here to Saukarpet. And you know, in Saukarpet, they will bring the cow and they will milk the cow right in front of the house and the milk will be given. This boy, small boy, he ran into the house and he told his mother, "Mother, come and see. Some black thing has come and somebody is doing something and one white thing is coming out of it." It happens sometimes. When the city-bred boys go to the agriculture university, then only they know the difference between rice and wheat, kambu and bajra. It becomes very difficult. So this boy, because of this, his capacity to memorize, mastered subjects, got 90 in all the subjects, and just because he got 90, he thought that he would know everything. Our marks signify nothing. We only know that. Sometimes some people believe that their marks are related to their mental caliber. They are not at all related, and it is a false notion. Marks has got nothing to do with intelligence. Unfortunately, we are in this system and we have to do something about it, and we are doing it. So this boy thought that I have got so much, so I know agriculture. He went to the field and he saw a tree, it was wilting. And he said, "Why this tree is wilting? You should immediately apply fertilizer." The farmer said, "Yes, sir." Then he went to the piggery, saw and said, "You should do this." Then he went to the paddy field and he said, "You have not applied enough fertilizer. That is why it's not healthy." So like that he was keeping on giving advice after advice. Then when he went to the cattle shed, he saw some strange animal there. That animal husbandry class he missed. So he did not know what to do. Now he cannot say anything. He said, "What is this animal?" He said, the farmer said, "Whatever you say, that is that animal." Because now so far, he has learned so much from this boy, he thought that better not to talk to him about anything. He said, "You say it, sir, I will accept." Now immediately this fellow gave an email to his animal husbandry professor. There is an animal, eyes are sunken, beard, drooping ears, looks very tired and weak. What is this animal? Immediately he got a reply, "Idiot, that is only the farmer." So sometimes you may have theoretical knowledge, it doesn't mean. So when you want to go as a veterinary doctor, then they will ask you questions related to, not related to theory. They will ask something related to practical experience. Unless you have done the practicals properly and you have done some extra work in the evening, you have gone to the dispensary and see the animals, how they are being treated, what are all the problems, and spent your midnight oil in studying on those areas, you will not be able to answer the questions. So the interview board will be having a personal interview to see whether you possess acumen to handle the job that is going to be given to you. Then there is another type of interview that is called a small group interview. They will call 4 people and they will ask questions. Now it is an open interview. Anybody who knows the answer first can answer the question. Now they will not say you answer it, you answer it. No. They will ask a question and anybody who knows it can answer. And sometimes 2 people will be answering all the questions and the remaining people will keep quiet. Maybe because of shyness or because of lack of initiatives, or they may not know the answers. When they are reluctant and shy, when they are not confident and courageous, they will miss the bus. So those 2 people will be rejected. It is called small group interview. Then the next important thing is behavioral interview. In certain areas, they would like to judge your behavior, how you behave here, how you behave. There will be a psychologist. And in many foreign countries, invariably, they will have the behavioral scientist, even for teaching professions. In teaching profession, you are going to handle children. If you have not seen the movie called To Serve with Love, it's one of the most beautiful movies I have ever seen in my life. And a book has been written with the title To Serve with Love by Richard Braithwaite. Kindly read that book. He's an Afro-American who goes to the rural areas of London known for weird behavior. And he goes to a school to teach them. Greenland is the place. And there they have a concept called free discipline. Children will not be conditioned. They will be allowed to behave on their own. They are all white children with racial arrogance. First he wants to get into some corporate jobs. He was well qualified, but in all the corporate areas they reject him just because of one reason, that his color was black. Finally somebody suggests him, why don't you go and join in the school as a teacher? And he goes to the school. And the school is full of children with mischievous behavior, maverick tendency, and arrogant attitude. And in that kind of environment, he is trying to teach the students. Now you can imagine the situation. They are making fun of him. In fact, they are ridiculing him because of his skin color. One day he brings a skeleton and he asks them, could you identify the country to which this person belongs? They say no. Could you say the race to which he belongs? They couldn't. Then he asked, could you identify the religion to which he belongs? They are not able to say. Now he asks them, could you say whether it is a male or female? One person says, yes, it is a female because the pelvic bone is slightly larger. Then he says, yes, from a skeleton you can identify whether he is a male or female. All other things were attributed by you. They were all artificial things. They were not created by nature. Now the children understand. And once he takes them to the museum, first field trip he takes them. And in the field trip, the children enjoy the museum, the outing, and then they become attached to him. One day when he has a wound, the blood oozes out. And a boy says, oh, his blood is also red. Because they think that his blood should be black. Do you know one thing? Herodotus, the great historian, has written that in India, the semen is black for the youth. Because we are all dark skinned. This is a kind of image that people have. Preconceived notions, wrong notions that the people have. Now Braithwaite is able to handle the children, give them exercises, instill discipline, and bring out the best in them. And finally, when he leaves them, they were all in tears and give him a farewell. Because he wanted to join some other place. And now he decides to stay in the same place and tears the appointment order. And at that point of time, the next class of students come and they make the same halla gulla again. He starts from the scratch. This is the movie. I'm telling you, one of the most beautiful movies I have ever seen, and I would advocate all the people who want to become teachers to see that. I would advocate that as one of the movies, and then Mother Gabo by Akira Kurosawa. It is another beautiful movie which they have to see. They have to read Tuesdays with Maury, another interesting book. They are all important books, and if you want to become a teacher, kindly read these books. And if you want to become a teacher, kindly read A Girl at the Window. Toto-chan, A Girl at the Window, a Japanese book. It's a beautiful book. So the psychologist will see whether this man has got enough emotional intelligence. If you want to become a teacher, if you want to become any professional, you should have emotional intelligence, but for the students, they should have more emotional intelligence coupled with empathy. Then only they will be able to understand the emotions of the students. They will be able to bring up the child in a positive environment, and that is very, very important. So they will try to have the behavioral test being conducted, and there is fifth form of interview. And the sixth form is the task-oriented interview, where you will be asked to present. And they will view whether your presentation is correct or not, whether you are having enough confidence to present. They will ask queries, and they will see whether you have done some homework on the subject, whether you are thorough with the subject, and this is generally used in your Viva OC. PhD Viva OCs are just presentation interview, task-oriented interviews. And the main objective of the Viva OCs in PhD is to see whether you have actually written the thesis or someone else has written it. And many a time, people who have got the research work done by ghostwriters perform well. Sometimes it happens. So it is very important that you also equip for the task-oriented interview. The next interview is the skill-oriented interview. For example, they may even arrange a classroom, and they may ask you to teach to the students on a particular subject. They will give a subject. The subject will be of your choice. They will give us, for example, you have done specialization in pathology, means they will tell you, take a class on the pathology related to cow. Now you have to take the class. The students will be there, and they will see whether you are nervous or not, whether you are fluent or not, whether you are able to communicate effectively through non-verbal communication, whether you have proper eye contact with the students, whether you have the interactive sessions, whether you are pleasant or not. So this is the skill-oriented thing. For example, could you conduct a personal interview for selecting a driver? What are the parts of the car? Yes. How many tires does a car have? 10 marks. Okay. When somebody comes on the way, what will you do? I will horn it. 10 marks. Okay. When will you apply the brake? When the brake fails, what will you do? A question was asked like this. A boy went for the railway guard interview. He was asked the questions. Suppose a train comes on the wrong track, and in the opposite direction another train comes, what will you do? He said, I will show the red flag. The driver of this train doesn't see the red flag. What will you do? Then I will wave the danger light vehemently, and then I will try to stop the train. Then also, if they do not stop, what will you do? Then I will shout at the pitch of my voice, stop the train, stop the train. Then also, if they do not stop, what will you do? Then I will call my younger sister. Why would you call the younger sister? To tell her that the greatest accident is going to happen now. Don't miss this accident. Come and see. This is what I am going to say. Now you can't conduct a theoretical interview for a driver. If you want to take somebody as a driver, you will ask him to drive a car, and you will be seated in the front seat or at the back seat with all proper safety. And then you will see whether he is driving properly or not. Isn't it? So that is the skill-oriented interview. There are many areas where skill orientation is being tested. There are certain jobs like technicians. There are certain jobs like medical assistants, laboratory assistants. There the skill is being tested, and then the person is selected. Then the next type of interview is stress-oriented interview. They will stress you. They will provoke you. Particularly in the corporate sector, for example, immediately they will say, you are the sales officer. Now sell this bag to us. They will give the bag and sell it to us. And that fellow will say, this bag is a nice bag. Bag is nice, but your face is off. This fellow will become irritated. My face has got nothing to do with the bag. This is not correct. You have less emotional intelligence. Now, there is also another thing. In certain corporate sector, for higher positions, 2-3 persons will ask questions one after another, and before you finish the answer, another question will be asked. Volley of questions to test your patience, and if you are balanced, if you are calm and cool, then you will be selected. These are the 8 types of interviews that are generally conducted. Now, your category of interview will either fall in the task-oriented interview, or the personal interview, or the skill-oriented interview. These are all the 3 interviews. Now, when you go for the competitive examination, they will ask you the personality. That will be the personality test. And in the personality test, everything is observed. The way you talk, the way you enter into the room, the courtesies that you show, your dress, your appearance. Appearance means you need not have to go to beauty parlor. Some people go for bleaching very often, and finally the face becomes awful due to excess bleaching. One fellow thought that bleaching means using bleaching powder, and he applied it on his face and entirely got burnt. So don't do these kinds of things. Appearance means a neat appearance, a groomed appearance, good dress, a neat dress, shirts without the pictures of giraffe, cat, tiger on it, and not wearing one earring here, and not keeping a long hair. You can do it after you join the job. Don't do that beforehand. Because they expect certain minimum standards. Well-groomed person, neatly dressed. And that day I found some people wearing t-shirts, jeans, for the model personality test we were conducting here. And one person was bringing some other thing also, some funny kind of garment he was wearing. And with slippers, one fellow comes with slippers. And some of them have not shaved for 5-6 days. You should be well groomed, you should be neat, you should be clean. This is the face which God has given me. I cannot improve this face, but I can keep this face neat and clean. I can wear neat garments, isn't it? So that is very, very important. In the formal dress you should go. What is a formal dress? You should wear shoes, you should wear a nice pant, don't wear Bermuda trousers and go for the interviews. I see a lot of old men wearing Bermuda trousers and roaming around in the airports. They should be arrested and they should be put behind the bars. At the age of 60, what is that to behave like a boy of 20? It's totally against nature. These fellows should be arrested and imprisoned at least for 2 years. The age of 60, behave like a person of 60s. At the age of 20, behave like a boy of 20. This is the general norm that is to be observed. If somebody looks like 20 at the age of 60, there is something wrong with that person. And he may be an antisocial element. This is my observation. So, wearing formal dress, nice pants, nice shirt, and grooming yourself and going for the interview is very important. Walking with confidence, not arrogance, walking with confidence, and wishing them all. Then when they ask you to sit properly. Don't cross your legs. And don't sit at the tip of the chair. That means you are anxious. Sit comfortably. Smile at them pleasantly. Maintain proper eye contact. Then they will ask questions. Don't immediately jump on the questions before they complete the question. What is your my name is... Wait for the question to become. What is your name means, don't think on it. My name is Ramesh. Then why do you